And if you're a deranged lunatic and you're mentally ill, you will believe that lie, and yes, you will take political like we have seen in 2 instances against President Trump. Last week,
Karoline Leavitt's $100 million lawsuit against The View has sparked an intense debate about media accountability, free speech, and the consequences of unchecked commentary on national television. What initially seemed like just another fiery episode of the long-running talk show has evolved into a pivotal legal battle with far-reaching implications. Leavitt, who served as press secretary during the Trump administration, is accusing co-hosts Sunny Hostin, Joy Behar, and Whoopi Goldberg of defamation, claiming their remarks went beyond political critique to personally damage her professional reputation. For The View and its network, ABC, the lawsuit has become much more than a PR crisis. It's a moment of reckoning that could redefine the boundaries between opinion, political discourse, and defamation. The controversy erupted during a segment in which Sunny Hostin criticized the Trump administration's hiring practices. Hostin suggested that Leavitt's role as press secretary was not a reflection of her qualifications or competence, but rather a calculated move by Trump to surround himself with easily manipulated individuals.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Hostin portrayed Leavitt as a puppet, incapable of independent thought or action, reducing her achievements to little more than a reflection of the administration's alleged flaws. These remarks marked the starting point of a discussion that quickly escalated into a string of personal attacks. Joy Behar, infamous for her blunt and often provocative style, took the conversation in an even more inflammatory direction. She claimed that Leavitt's success had less to do with her skills and more to do with her physical appearance, insinuating that Trump's decision to hire her was based primarily on her looks. Behar's remark, framed as humor, struck a nerve with many viewers. Critics accuse her of sexism, arguing that reducing a professional woman's accomplishments to her appearance perpetuates harmful stereotypes about women in the workplace. The comment not only undermined Leavitt's credibility, but also exposed the hypocrisy of a show that often claims to champion women's empowerment.
Morality, inequality, systemic failures, and look at her track record. How many times does she have to go on?
Whoopi Goldberg, adding her voice to the fray, introduced an entirely different perspective, which only added to the confusion. Goldberg argued that Leavitt's rise was a product of wokeness, claiming that social justice movements advocating for inclusion had created opportunities for women like Leavitt. This assertion contradicted Behar's earlier comment, leaving viewers perplexed about the co-host's stance. Was Leavitt supposedly unqualified and chosen for superficial reasons, or was she a beneficiary of broader societal progress? The lack of consistency in their arguments underscored a deeper issue with The View, its tendency to prioritize sensationalism over coherence. For many viewers, particularly conservatives, the segment represented yet another example of the media's willingness to attack right-leaning public figures with baseless insults. The co-host's remarks seemed to stray far from legitimate political critique.
On despair. And it thrives on fear and making people fear that, but for Trump, they're in real trouble. But he also
veering instead into personal territory. For Leavitt, this wasn't just a matter of political discourse. It was a direct assault on her character and professional integrity. Feeling that the hosts had crossed a line, she decided to take a bold stand by filing a $100 million defamation lawsuit. Leavitt's legal team argues that the co-host's comments were not only false, but maliciously intended to discredit her. According to the lawsuit, the remarks damaged Leavitt's reputation, making it harder for her to secure professional opportunities. The lawsuit highlights that while free speech protections allow for opinions and criticism, they do not shield knowingly false statements made with reckless disregard for the truth. Leavitt's lawyers are working to prove that Hostin, Behar, and Goldberg either knew their claims were baseless or acted with such negligence that they should have known. The lawsuit has placed ABC and The View in a precarious position.
So you can't just say they all have it. Some people have all the things you said.
Right.
We just checked every one of them.
While the show has faced controversies before, this case poses a more serious threat. A $100 million judgment against the network would be financially damaging, but the potential precedent it could set is even more significant. If Leavitt's case succeeds, it could compel media platforms to impose stricter guidelines on commentary, forcing shows like The View to rethink their approach to political debate and personal critique. The public reaction to the lawsuit has been polarizing. Critics of The View argue that the show's unscripted format and penchant for controversial remarks often lead to reckless commentary. For years, the co-hosts have faced accusations of targeting conservative figures with sweeping generalizations and personal attacks. The lawsuit has reignited these criticisms, with many conservatives viewing it as a necessary step toward holding media platforms accountable for their biases. At the same time, some worry about the broader implications of the case for free speech.
Last 2 months and look at the camera and do a legal apology for all the stuff that she said on the
Opponents of the lawsuit argue that public figures like Leavitt should expect to face harsh criticism, even when it feels deeply personal. They caution that a ruling in Leavitt's favor could have a chilling effect on media organizations, making them overly cautious and potentially stifling robust political debate. These concerns add a layer of complexity to the case, highlighting the tension between accountability and freedom of expression. As the lawsuit unfolds, both sides are preparing for a heated legal battle. Leavitt's legal team is focusing on the tangible harm caused by the co-hosts' comments, arguing that their statements crossed the line from opinion into defamation. ABC's defense is likely to center on the argument that the remarks were protected under the First Amendment and that they fall within the realm of political commentary. The outcome of this case could hinge on whether the court views the co-host's comments as defamatory or as part of the robust debate that shows like The View aim to foster. The implications of this lawsuit extend far beyond Leavitt and The View. If Leavitt prevails, it could set a new standard for how media platforms handle political commentary, potentially curbing the kind of fiery rhetoric that has become commonplace in talk shows. For ABC, the stakes are not just financial but reputational. The network's handling of this controversy could influence how audiences perceive its commitment to fairness and journalistic integrity moving forward. For Karoline Leavitt, the lawsuit is more than just a fight for her reputation. It's a statement about the need for accountability in media. By taking legal action, she has positioned herself as a figure willing to challenge powerful institutions and demand fairness, a move that has resonated with her supporters. However, the case also carries significant risks. If Leavitt loses, it could reinforce the narrative that public figures must accept criticism, no matter how personal, as part of their role in the public eye. Regardless of the outcome, the case has already sparked a broader cultural conversation about the role of media in shaping political discourse. It raises questions about what viewers expect from talk shows like The View and how much responsibility these platforms bear for perpetuating divisive narratives. At its core, this lawsuit is about more than just one person's career. It's about the standards we hold for public discourse and the accountability of those who influence it. As the legal battle plays out, the entertainment industry will be watching closely. The decisions made in this case could set a precedent for years to come, shaping how media organizations navigate the fine line between free expression and defamation. For better or worse, Karoline Leavitt's lawsuit against The View is a defining moment in the ongoing struggle to balance robust political debate with ethical reporting. Whether you see it as a courageous stand against media bias or a potential threat to free speech, one thing is certain: the outcome of this case will leave a lasting impact.